Hey there. So, another purchase from Cult Pens. I haven't bought anything from them for a really long time, but they were having a bit of a sale for Black Friday, and I'm going to blame another YouTuber, Irit Landgraf, for putting me on to one of the things that's in this box. So it just arrived today. It took about just over a week to get here, which is pretty good. They're a company based out of England. So really that's not bad right now. Let's see what we've got. And they always put on their invoice sheets cute little cookie thing. All right, here we go. So this is what I saw on Irit's YouTube channel. I've actually seen it before, but there's something about tin. I usually use, it comes with Caran Supracolour water-soluble pencils. I have some of their museum aquarelle pencils that I really like. I don't have the full set, but neither do I need the full set. So I do have a couple of the Supracolours. I think it's only about 2 of them. But really, like, look at this tin. It's just, and I love Paul Smith stuff. I can't afford any of his other things. He's a clothing designer, but he does these different collaborations with companies. So there it is. There's the Supracolour Soft, and there's the pencils themselves, kind of packed all in there. But I was thinking it might be a good overflow case for my Neocolor IIs, and I'll take these out and put them with my other water-soluble pencils. But very cute. Quite pleased with that. I like that it's matte finish on there. So, staying with the Caran theme and talking Neocolors, I got these ones to add to my collection. So I have the light cobalt blue, the light olive, charcoal gray, a light cadmium red, lilac, and rose pink. So those I can add to the collection. And then still Caran d'Ache, because that was, I believe, the sale. I got some more of the Pablo pencils I've talked about before. I have a set of, I can't remember now, it was 36. And I got a couple more open stock, which is great. So this one is light beige and grayish green and olive. So yet again, I'm buying a lot of greens, but these will be great to add to that collection. And they're just so soft and so lovely to use. And they're a bit less expensive than the Luminance pencils by Caran d'Ache. So, going outside Caran d'Ache, these are Stabilo. They're .88 pens, felt tip pens, and these are in kind of subtle pastel shades. So they don't mark the colors on the actual pens themselves, but I'll leave a list what Cult pen set they are. So these are the fine tip versions of the Stabilo, the 88 point. And I love adding them at the end of watercolor that I've done. They're great for outlining. They're not water soluble, or they are water soluble. They're not permanent. So just be careful that's why I leave it to the end to use them. And then in contrast, or in conjunction with the Neocolor IIs, I got this set of Lyra Aquacolour crayons, which are quite similar to the Neocolor, or I'll soon find out if they are. And this is a rather nice tin set. Unfortunately, the Lyras aren't open stock, so once you finish them, you finish them. Some people say they just buy Neocolor II that's similar in color to add to it. And not so bad, there's just a tiny little dent there. And it did travel a long way. And these are the Lyra versions, which are slightly thicker. Oh, fortunately that one's broken. Of course, the first one I picked up is broken. Here you can see they're a little bit thicker in form than the Neocolor IIs. But they're virtually the same. They're a wax-based crayon that's water soluble. And I'll probably do a swatch out of these on their own, because if I did this all together, it would be quite a long video. So let's just do the ones that I have here with the Caran dash. So here we go. We'll start with the Neocolors, work from this way in. And so this one is the Rose. I'm just going to put them down as crayons to begin with. And this one's Lilac. This is the light cadmium red, which, as it happens, I bought today when I was at Above Ground Art Supply, because it wasn't, I brought my binder so that I wouldn't buy things that I already had, but I hadn't marked down that I was getting that one. That's charcoal gray. This is the light olive. And this one is the light cobalt blue. And maybe I'll do one of the Lyra that's similar to one of the Neocolors that I have here. So maybe a kind of light blue here, just so you can see if there are any differences. So I've got my water all ready to go. So here we'll start. So what I love about the Neocolor is how much pigment is in these crayons. If you want, you can have it so that you leave the texture of the crayons, or you can actually just blend it all out. So it's pretty useful that way. They're just beautiful colors, beautiful to work with. They're beautiful as crayons. If you don't want them to be water soluble, there are the Neocolor ones. That's a really nice gray. Not as dark as it appears when it's just in crayon form. And that's a really nice light olive color. And see, I'm just blending out the strokes of the crayon. And this is the light blue, which nearly goes to nothing. And this is the Lyra one. So let's see how it blends out, if it's similar. So it's taking a little bit longer to blend out the crayon strokes. And there's still just a little bit of a hint, but it's not too dissimilar from the Neocolor IIs. Now, moving on. Well, let's keep up with the water-soluble theme. These are the Supracolours. Now, I don't know if these don't actually have the color names on them. They just have the Paul Smith logo. So that's kind of yellow, orangey yellow, warm yellow. This is kind of a more subdued rose, more like an antique rose. And this is a bit brighter pink. And then you have this sort of grayish, bluish gray. And this kind of grayed, almost a chromium green color, or terre verte. And then purple. I don't know, I keep looking for the names, but they're not going to be there. And I start turquoise. And a dark green. So let's see how these blend out. And again, just like the other Caran products, including the Museum Aquarelle, if you don't want the texture showing, it actually blends out beautifully. Now, unfortunately, I didn't clean my brush well enough, so that's kind of gone a little purplish. Let me just redo that one. Sure, brush is very clean, and there we go. It is very, very subtle. I'll hold this up to the camera after. The very, very subtle color, and this one's not. And this bluish gray, grayish blue. They're really nice. And I just, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I love grays and greens. Maybe a little too much water there. This is actually a really nice purple. I don't normally, not really a purple person, but this is a really nice color. It's a kind of more of a muted color than some purples, and this one's not very muted. It's a nice bright teal, one of my favorite colors. And then the last is this green, and that's nice vivid green. I normally like my greens to look more like that, but this wins me over for a bright green. So I'll move those up to the camera just so you can see how subtle that pink was and how beautifully the pencils and Neocolors blend out. And even the Lyra, like you can barely see the texture of the crayon. But again, if you want that texture look, you can leave it. Use less water, don't blend out as much. So moving on to the Pablo pencils. This is the light beige. And the olive. And finally, the grayish green, which I thought would be more of a muted green, since it's called grayish green, but it looks a little bright from what I expected. I thought it would be more like that green, but it's nice. It's nice to layer up too. And then finally are these Stabilo pens. So this is number 37. There's really nice fine tip on them. That's why I really like them. Stabilo does a little bit of a thicker tip one. Those are the 68s. And this one is number 62 Supracolour, and looks really nice beside that one. And this one is number 28. And that would work really nice with either of these pinks. I bought them. I'm not like a pastel person, but I do like the kind of muted pastel, although this is not a muted color at all. And this one is 60. Sorry for the hammering. That is my next door neighbor who is still doing his renovation, even though it was supposed to be 2 weeks long, is in week 5. So this is number 47, and it's kind of like a bit more of a tomato red than this color. It's a little bit more vivid than that, than the top cover. And this one is number 49. And this one is number 34. Really nice green. Look really nice with that one. And then this is number 12. Quite a subtle turquoisey color, which will look really nice with either of these. So like I said, I'll do a swatch out of the Lyra Aquacolors in a separate video. I didn't want to make this so long. And if you weren't interested in it, you'd have to fast forward to the end. So here are the Stabilo colors. Really nice arrangement of colors, somewhat pastels, somewhat still quite bright. And they work really well with the rest of the colors that I got. So I'm very pleased with that haul from Cult Pens. It came quite quickly. Like I said, they have a really good selection of things, some things that are hard to find, like this Paul Smith container. I think it's out of production now. So I got that there, and they have a lot of open stock. And if you love fountain pens, that is the place to go for those. So anyways, I will put up a video soon of the swatch out for the aqua colors. And if you have any questions, just leave them below. I'll list below all the colors I have here, including the names of these that aren't printed on the barrel, but I do have a list of them from Stabilo and Cult Pens. And that's it for today. Thanks very much. Bye.